you ever wonder what working at BMW looks like, or working as a nighttime security guard at BMW looks like? If yes, then you're at the right video. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to a new video. Today I'm gonna be sharing all the secrets about BMW, or I'm gonna be sharing my life as a nighttime security guard at BMW. So if this is something that you're interested in, then stay tuned. So I'm gonna be writing down all the timestamps in the description box down below in case you guys want to jump to a specific part of the video. Let's start from the very first thing, why I chose this field. So to give you a little bit of the background information, I was already working full-time as a cashier, as a baker, and as a customer service representative at a grocery store. But I just wanted to try out something different. I was tired of doing the same old things, so I wanted to try a different field, and then I got my security license made. If we talk further about how I got the job, I tried applying to a bunch of companies online. I didn't apply as much, but I had one of my friends working at the BMW dealership, so I just asked them randomly if the company is hiring, and to my surprise, yes, they were. And yep, that's how I got the job. It was a reference, although I had to complete a long process of interviews, orientation, training, and everything to start my job. But yeah, I'm very grateful to the one that referred me over there. So yeah, that was how I got into the job. Let's talk about the working hours over there. So the working hours were a bit of a mess. Sometimes I used to work 12 to 8, 12 as in 12 midnight to 8 a.m. in the morning, and on holidays, on long weekends, or any other occasions, I used to be working 12-hour shifts, 12 to 12. So 12 in the midnight to 12 in the afternoon. It was a bit of a hectic job, but I somehow managed to do it with my other part-time job. Let's talk about what used to be my daily routine as a nighttime security guard. So my duties used to be patrolling the dealership inside and also the whole building, like the parking, the dealership, and everything, like the area surrounded. So I used to patrol everything hourly, and my main duty used to be the camera surveillance. Because it used to be a night shift, I was the only one working there. There were no employees, no other guard working. So I was the one who was responsible for taking care of the dealership and everything. Let's talk about the most crucial part of a job. What did they pay me? So before disclosing the pay, let me tell you, I had a lot to work on. It was night shift. It was very unsafe for me, and B, it was night shift. It affected my mind and my health a lot. Taking in account the amount of work I was doing, the pay was very unfair. So they used to pay me the minimum wage at that time that was in Canada, which was I think around $16.75. Yes, working at BMW and working as a security, that's what I was getting paid. This was not the best pay I was getting paid for working that kind of a job. But the reason why I did that was because I just wanted to get experience how working in security feels like, how working at such a big dealership looks like. So I didn't really mind working there for a short period of time, but if we take into account if someone is planning to do it for a long term, especially me, not for me. I'm not gonna do 12-hour shifts, night shifts, longer shifts, and do a lot of work and just the minimum wage. So yeah, they just used to pay $16 for that kind of job. Let's move to the challenges of working night shifts. So as I have shared before too, at that time I was working my another job too. So I basically had two jobs, and in those days I used to do my other job in the mornings, and I used to be working the nights at BMW. So by the time I used to start my shift over here, I was already exhausted from the day, mentally and physically. Secondly, it was a night shift. You all know how unsafe Vancouver is becoming nowadays, and nothing really happened in those days like really unsafe, but there used to be a lot of trespassing and all different kinds of people who used to pass the property. At that time it was kind of unsafe, but I somehow did it for a long period of time. The third challenge that I had to come across was how to pass the time, because I didn't really had to do a lot of physical work. I had to patrol the dealership, but that was like hourly, and then I had just to check the cameras. It was so difficult to pass, especially those 12-hour shifts, because I didn't really had anything worth of doing, like any physical work which can make the time pass very easily. So I was bored for the whole time. But these are some ways how I passed my boring night shifts. Number 1, podcast. I used to listen to a lot of podcasts at the time, because with podcasts it's like you don't need to really see the screen. You can just listen to it and still gain the knowledge and still get entertained. So I really listened to a lot of podcasts at that time. Number 2, audiobooks. I am a big fan of reading, but at that time, because I was working full time, I had 2 jobs, I didn't really get the time for reading. But this is how I completed my reading goals. I just used to listen to an audiobook, whatever the book it is. You can just some of the books are free, but some of them are paid. But that for me was the best way to pass the time over here and at the same time get educated and entertained. Number 3, video calls with my family. Because I used to be working the nights in India, it used to be the day. So half of the times I used to be on the video call with my family or friends over there. So I had a bit of a time with my family and I was doing my job at the same time. Let's move to the next part, what I gained from the job. Now, just to give a bit of a context, I am not working there anymore. I quit that job. But if you ask me, did I like the job? Absolutely yes. I think that job gave me a lot of experience and a lot of growth as well. After working that job, I realized what I am capable of. There were apart from the job duties that I have described, there used to be a lot of other things that I had to. I think after working there, I really gained a lot of experience, what it looks like working at such a dealership, what it looks like handling the dealership all by yourself at the night. So I gained really a good amount of experience over there. Although I was working at the minimum wage, but as I have said earlier, I didn't really mind. In my mind, I just had the idea, I just want to see how it feels. I just want to see if it aligns with my goals, and I just wanted to see if this is something which I can do in the future. And I think I really made a good choice by working over there. So in the next chapter of this video, I'm gonna be giving some tips to all the people who are in nighttime security or people who are doing night jobs. So tip number 1, get enough sleep. You're gonna be asleep for the full 8 hours of the night or even more than that. So you need to make sure that you are having a good amount of sleep, 8, 9 or even 10 hours of sleep, because our human bodies from the beginning, from our birth, are adapted to sleeping at night, and then when it suddenly shifts, our body reacts very differently. So you're gonna be having difficulties in the starting, but with habit it all becomes normal. Your sleep schedule becomes normal. How is it in the days? And yeah, tip number 2, get the right amount of food and nutrition. If you're working a nighttime duty, do not neglect your food and your nutrition. It is super important to pack your tiffins, to carry your lunch, because I used to, in the starting when I started it, I neglected it so much, thinking that in the night I'm not gonna get hungry. My body is not gonna ask me anything. But the opposite happened. I used to be so hungry at the nights, especially when the sun used to rise and I used to see the people, the faces. My body did get hungry. So after 1 to 2 weeks of realizing and working there, I made the right choice of packing my tiffins, taking my lunches with me to the dealership. Number three, find your own ways to pass the time at your job. If you're doing a kind of job like I was doing, like camera surveillance and patrolling hourly or after every 2 hours, you need something to pass your time, and I think this is the time when you can utilize it and learn different things, get educated, listen to podcasts, listen to different YouTube videos of the subjects you are interested in, listen to different kind of audiobooks. There's a lot of knowledge on the internet and there is a lot to gain from. So do not waste your time on reels, on Instagram, on random YouTube videos. Utilize this kind of time to educate yourself on topics that you are interested in. Last tip, but not the least, your safety comes first. Whatever kind of job you're doing, either day security or night security, your safety is what matters the first. I am so grateful. Nothing really happened to me working as a security guard, but I have heard a lot of people who have come across all amounts of crazy people who have harmed them physically. So your safety is first. So make sure that your safety come first. Jobs will come and go, but your body, your health, and all sorts of things that you have will not come again and again if you are hurt one time. Make sure you take all the safety measures what you can while doing your nighttime or even daytime security job. I know what it feels like when you join security at first. You have all these feelings and emotions that I have to do this, I can do this, but safety comes first. I come across so many daily news of my friends or people getting hurt by all sorts of people at their security jobs, but I would say do whatever you can to make yourself feel safe and be safe. And it's just a job. It's not worth it if you are unsafe. It's as simple as that. Your safety comes first. Now we are moving to the end part of the video. My thoughts about how it was, how I feel about it. I have said it before and I'll say it again. I really liked the job. They offered me a supervisory role too. They asked me to take the position of the supervisor, but I rejected it. I didn't want to work at minimum wage for such a high risk job and such kind of a job which is affecting my health, my mind and my body slowly. I did not want to do such kind of a job for a long period of time. And then B, I had my other job. If I'll do this full time, it was super difficult for me to balance both my jobs as at a full-time status while being a full-time student. So I rejected the role that they offered me. But in all, I really liked the job. Because of the experience at this job, I landed at such an amazing job that I'm doing right now. So I'm very grateful that I gained this experience. I saw a huge growth in my work. After working over there, I met such amazing people who were already working at the dealership. So I would say that for me wasn't a very bad idea. I am very happy that I took a step forward and I took the risk and I did that job. So yeah, if you have any questions, do let me know in the comments about the job, about the dealership, about how to get your license. I will try to reply as soon as. And these are some of my videos that you can watch as well. And make sure to subscribe. I'll see you guys in my next video.